We're back at Albion Park on Saturday night. The carnival, the summer carnival, has come and gone for another year, but the features keep rolling out this weekend. We've got the Christmas Cup for the open class pacers, and that race features many of those that are backing up from last week's Tab Blacks Are Fake, and we've also got the Trotters Christmas Cup as well. Many of these trotters backing up from last week's Tab Trotters Sprint. So there's a lot to look forward to. In this edition of Weekend Winners, we are going to speak with leading drivers Pete McMullen and Angus Garrod, and we'll get their thoughts on their big book of drives coming up. Pete McMullen joins us to go through his book of drives for Saturday night. It's the big Christmas Cup meeting coming through at Albion Park on the weekend. Pete, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
Made you do it. You're back with him after scoring on Wednesday night at Redcliffe, and he got an overdue victory. It was well deserved.
Yeah, this horse has been racing really good without much luck, and first time I get back on him for a long period, and got a pretty good record on him, so fingers crossed we can keep that going.
He's been running some good sectionals, so the win didn't shock anyone on Wednesday night. Can he back up and do it again on the weekend?
Yeah, I can't see why he won't back up. He's he's a pretty strong sort of horse, and it just probably depends where he ends up in the run, but fingers crossed he can get a really good trip, and if he does, he'll be right there.
Okay, there does look to be good speed to your inside.
Yeah, that's a bit of a bugger, so it's, we're going to have to negotiate a bit of a trip for him and see how we go.
Okay, speaking of negotiating a trip, you're going to need all of your skills in race 3, the Christmas Cup for the Pacers here. King of the Stars is your drive. Facing a second row draw, the obvious hurdle is Colt 31, for obvious reasons. He's the class runner, but he's got the inside gate here, gate 1. So it's going to take one hell of a drive here to get him over the line, King of the Stars.
Yeah, he probably needs something to go wrong with Colt 31 because he looks an absolute standout there. His runs have been super, so it's going to make it tough for everyone chasing, but we're in it and you've got to be in it to win it. So with a little bit of luck, hopefully we can run on and at least maybe fill some placings. Okay, last time you drove King of the Stars, he was successful. That was 2 starts ago. Just with this race, looking at it map-wise, it could be very similar to last week's Tab Blacks Are Fake, where there was not a great deal of tempo. If Colt 31 holds up, which many probably expect, there doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of pressure. No, which possibly may mean we could be the one doing all the chasing outside him, maybe if we get a chance to get around, which I think he sort of races pretty good like that, but at the same time we don't want to be chasing Colt 31.
Okay, so it looks fairly tough there for King of the Stars in that race. The Christmas Trotters Cup, this is a different scenario. Many of these trotters backing up after last week's Tab Trotters Sprint, and it was a mobile start. Back to the stand start. How big a concern is this for you with Majestic Simon?
It is worrying. In the past, we've never had any luck with him sort of going from mobiles back to a stand. But in saying that, obviously, last time he wasn't a stand, it was by far the best he's ever stepped. So even if we step half as good as we did in the DJA final, we're probably still going to go away with him. So with a little bit of luck, that happens. And, if he gets a nice trip, he'll sort of show how fast he is, and he'll sort of be hitting the line very good. Okay, so you plan to drive him cold this week compared to last week where you were the aggressor? Yeah, I think last week I was out of the short and we went 100 metres and it sort of played out. It was going to be a pretty slowly run race. So we had to sort of try and get into it and sort of make Arnold do a bit to try and beat him, but he was obviously still too strong. I think this week with the stand, unless we step really good again, I think we're going to be back in the field. I think a mid-race move would probably be out of the question. So more than likely he's going to be driven sort of off the pace and with one run, which he certainly can do very good.
When he won the DJA 2 starts ago, this track and trip, did he surprise you with how well he stepped that night? Because that's probably the best he's ever stepped.
Yeah, definitely it was the best he's ever stepped. At the same time, he had been sort of getting better and better as time had gone by, and would purposely be missing all the mobiles to sort of keep him stepping really good. Which worked out really good and everything went to plan. So, I think it was definitely there in the making. So, I don't know what's happening this week though.
Okay, it's going to be a good race, the Trotters Cup there. Races 5 and 6 here. Nicky Taris and Got a Moment, both are trainer Graham Dwyer. Both have got gate 7. It's no luxury.
No, a little bit tricky, but not over big fields, which sort of helps. And a bit of a shame there. Sort of. It would have been lovely to have nice, big, strong fields on a Saturday night, but anyway, it's also sitting at home, which could have probably been in there, but that's the way it rolls, so we'll just see how we go.
Okay, race 7, this race for the mares here over the middle distance trip. Millwood Tilly is your drive. This mare continues to race really well. Strong victory last Friday. Don't think it shocked anyone. How did you rate her last week?
No, she was absolutely super. You know, she had a few knockers there previously, and I think she sort of showed them that she, not only did she step up in class, she stepped up in the way she raced really strong and run good time. So we fully expected her to be able to do it, and hopefully everyone else took a bit of notice of her.
Okay, she's a versatile mare. In your opinion, what's her best racing pattern?
I don't really think it matters too much. I do think she likes to speed on. I think if they go slow and sprint home, probably doesn't suit her, but you know, if it's a genuinely run race, she's always there at the finish.
Okay, does this race pan out where you're likely to be outside the leader? Does Fond Memories lead here and you're parked outside? How do you see it early?
Yeah, quite possibly that way, and it's a pretty good race all the way across the board. Some mares there that are racing quite well, just probably haven't had a lot of luck of late, so it's definitely going to be a good race.
Okay, and race 8, your final drive Saturday night, little change. He gets barrier 1. He looks like he's going to be a real threat.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We've got the draw that we've been waiting for, so hopefully this week we can make full use of it, and hopefully can really sort of get the trip we want and hopefully be too good.
What are your options? Either leading or taking a sit. Which horse are you likely to take a sit on if you go that way?
Well, it's a little bit tricky, but over time he's been getting a bit better gate speed, so we can sort of use it, and you know, if we haven't got one there, we're sort of happy to hand up to. We can possibly even hold up. He's sort of starting to becoming a little bit more versatile as time goes on.
Okay, certainly looks a good chance there. Which one are you looking forward to most on Saturday night?
Probably looking forward to Majestic Simon the most. Obviously, it's always good to get behind a good trotter.
Okay, it's a good test for both horse and driver there on Saturday night. The fact that you're coming back from that mobile start, stand start, and it's a good quality lineup. Pete, as always, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries. Cheers.
Angus Garrod now joins us to go through his drives on Saturday night. Angus, appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me on, Chris.
Let's start with race 2. Bumper is your drive. He's a last start winner here at Redcliffe, and he steps back up to Albion Park, a track that he performs well at each and every time he goes around. Barrier 6, it looks a little sticky on paper.
Yeah, definitely. It's not ideal, and it's a pretty strong field as well, so we'll just see what happens, but he raced really well here last week, and hopefully he holds that form.
Tell me this, with that victory at Redcliffe, at the top of the straight, he looked like he was going to win by a widening margin. In the end, it was only a fairly narrow margin. What happened there over the latter stages?
Yeah, I thought we were winning by 15 or 20 there at the top of the straight, but the pull-down slides came down, and we pulled up pretty quick, so they'll be coming off this weekend.
Okay, so a little gear change there, but with a little bit of luck, he should be able to feature. He's a consistent type, and normally any time he gets any sort of luck, he's always thereabouts.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure he'll be hitting the line strong.
Okay. Race 3, the Christmas Cup. This is the Pacing Christmas Cup. Invincible Loxton backs up after Tuesday. Tell me, were you disappointed on Tuesday?
Yeah, I was, to be honest, Chris. He was probably a little bit below par there, but he probably missed a run sort of the week before. He didn't have a real hard trip, so he pumped a bit of work into him this week, and hopefully he steps up on Saturday.
It's a tall order when you've got Colt 31 drawn in gate 1. So how does this race play out early for you? Because you do have gate speed. What are the early tactics or thoughts at this stage?
Yeah, we're not really sure yet, Chris. 12 horse field, we probably don't want to be getting too far back. So I think at worst we've got to sort of lope out and just get to the running line, I think. Whether we've got the speed to get across or not, I'm not sure yet, but I'm sure we'll see.
Okay, and what's his pet distance range? Do you like him over the shorter trips, or it doesn't matter, or do you like him over these long 13 furlong trips?
He loves the 2600, Chris. The longer the better for him, so this race sort of suits him down to the ground. It's a step up in class, but if he's right, he should be in the mix.
Okay. Race number 4, this is the Christmas Trotters Cup, and this is a good lineup. Many of these trotters backing up from last week's Tab Trotters Sprint. Sir Fahrenheit, he holds the track record here at 2,647 metres. He's drawn in gate 1, and his recent form is really strong. He looks a really good chance.
Yeah, I thought he was really impressive through that DJA series, Chris. He was probably just missed the run the week before last week in the sprint race. He sort of got left a bit flat-footed, but drawing 1 over the 2600 suits him down to the ground. Touch wood, his manners are on song, and we should land handy.
Okay, early thoughts at this stage with those drawn off the front row with you. Do you think you've got enough speed to hold them early with a good getaway?
On paper, I think we do, Chris. So we'll just see what happens. As I said, if his manners are on, he should be up on the front end.
Okay, and looking at the class runners off the handicaps, Arnold, who won last week, Majestic Simon, who won the DJA, Hour Over and Over, needs no introduction. It's a good quality lineup, but off the front, I'm sure you're going to give plenty of cheek.
Yeah, certainly. All those runners you just said, they're obviously class runners, and Arnold performed really well last week, as well as Majestic Simon and Hour Over and Over, so we'll just see what happens.
Okay, looks a good chance there, Sir Fahrenheit. And in race 6 again with Donnie Smith. Letterkenny Boy, he's yet to fire this campaign. This is going to be his 5th run back on Saturday night. Gate 3, and you've got Bomb Suit and Stratty to your inside. Again, it looks a little sticky.
Yeah, he's been a little bit disappointing, to be honest, this time in, Chris. But he's a couple of weeks since a run, so hopefully he's got the leg working at home, and hopefully he turns up. I think if he's 100%, he's definitely in it up to his eyeballs, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's a good quality race, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly is. As you said, Bomb Suit's in fine form, and Stratty raced really well last week, so there's a couple of others in there as well that'll be pretty tough.
Okay, so out of those drives, which one are you looking forward to most?
Probably Sir Fahrenheit, Chris, just because of the draw, and obviously 2600, he loves it, so we'll just see how we go.
Excellent stuff. Appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris.
Looking for a good gamble on Saturday night, I think we're going to play the main race, race number 3, the Christmas Pacers Cup, because Colt 31 looks the obvious, but I think it's a good trifecta race. Escalera draws directly behind him. He's fit, in form, and looks a great chance. One change, backs up after last week's Blacks Are Fake, and 2 other horses coming out of that race include Lilac Flash and Bright Energy. So I think we can stand out Colt 31, work around numbers 4, 8, 11 and 12 as the main place hopes, and I think that's our best way to get a result this weekend. The first of 9 races getting underway at 5:43. We'll see you trackside.